Hello, my darling friend. Boy, it's good to see your face.
How are you?
How are you?
Chilling out, at the moment.
I see you're in outer space. How is it over there? I'm sure it's a lot less hectic than it is here.
Yeah. Props to all the to the astronauts that just bailed out on Earth.
God, that was smart. So I want to set it up for everybody that is going to watch this. The last time I saw you, we were in Big Bear and we were standing there and we had like a really freakish mini snowstorm.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the sun came out. It was a perfect day at Big Bear and you played. And then, dun, dun, dun. And then 2020 took a turn.
Seriously.
So talk to me about where the last time we saw each other, and then tell me about how your transition from everything's great to holy shit, the world's on fire. How has that been for you?
I want to pause for a second because my dog's going nuts. Slowing
Okay.
down. She's been doing this thing where she barks at nothing lately.
What's her name?
Her name's Beans.
Hi, Beans. Oh, she's cute.
Well, to be honest, Big Bear was awesome. The show was great. It was awesome to kind of, I guess, start and end our year there. Especially with y'all. I actually that was the first, I think the show was up here, but my day before kind of I think kicked off the theme for my 2020.
Oh shit, that's right. You ate shit down the mountain.
Yeah, I was snowboarding and I was killing it for the first 2 days and then or for the first whatever most of the day, and then what's it called? We last run of the day going down going down, and I was I was oh, I got this, and I went off a kicker and I just bit it off the side of a rail and really, really badly bruised my ribs. And that
was a precursor
for my 2020.
Okay, so then you're gearing up. I mean, you should have been playing the Wiltern, I think, this month, writing new music.
This Friday, we would have been at the Wiltern.
When was it? When is it?
This Friday, we would have been at the Wiltern, yeah.
So tell me about when the world's hit pause.
It was definitely strange because I won't lie, I was out this Saturday. I went out to a bar the Saturday with a couple friends before the Sunday.
So did I because I was in denial, so I get it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, weird, this is strange, and then everything hit pause, and we were still up in the air at the time. We were okay, maybe this will be a couple weeks, and we'll get to go out on tour. And then as it progressed, we were yeah, this is not happening. And it was really tough at first because I'm a person that I have to be productive and I have to be doing things to feel I have purpose,
Yeah.
I get really, really, it messes with my mental health a lot when I'm just kind of stagnant and I feel I'm wasting days away,
Sucks.
There's a difference between doing nothing on a day after you've been gone for 3 months. You know what I mean? There's a difference that has purpose to it, but just sitting aimlessly for a month, 3 months, whatever, is wild. But the craziest bit of this whole thing is turns out I actually had corona.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know, but I was it was at the end of March, and I thought it was my asthma flaring up. I've had asthma, pretty bad asthma since I was.
My face. I'm what? Okay.
Yeah, I've had pretty bad asthma since I was a kid, so I thought, and remember when we had those 2 weeks of rain, nonstop rain in March.
And everybody was sick, and everybody was
So I at the time my heat was broken in my house, and I was oh, I'll be all right. This rain will pass. And then,
you mean at the beginning of the whole pandemic when it was just it really looked like Armageddon, that it didn't stop raining?
Exactly. It looked like the apocalypse outside. And anyway, so I thought my asthma was flaring up because I was my chest was really tight. I was damn, I haven't had asthma this bad in 20 years. And so I went to the doctor, later that week and got a new inhaler and got some steroids, and a couple days later I was fine. So I was oh, this was definitely my asthma. This wasn't anything else. Because obviously you hear about corona, there's no cure, there's no this, there's no that,
Right.
But I got steroids and I was fine in like a couple days. And I was like, yeah, this was my asthma. Sick. I'm better. I'm good. And then I was at the protests for all like the Black Lives Matter stuff. And, and my house was getting painted last weekend. And we rented a house in Newport. I rented a house in Newport for the guys and I to go to, and Christian, our producer, to write the music. And they were like, yo, you've been at the protest. Like, can you get tested? Like, we're worried, because you've been surrounded by thousands of people.
Yeah.
I'm like, totally. I'll go to the doctor. Went to urgent care, got the COVID test, got the antibody test. And 2 days later, they hit me and they were like, yeah, you tested positive for the antibodies. I was like, oh shit.
So how did you, because that's the one test that you don't, like I took the antibody test and I so badly wanted it to be positive, but it wasn't, because I was in Wuhan, China when it all broke out. So,
oh, no way.
Yeah, what the hell? But so when you found out, was there a sense of, I've always wanted to know, is there a sense of relief? Because you're like,
oh my God, I feel like Superman right now.
Huh?
I feel like Superman right now. I'm like, there's definitely a sense of like, all right, that's over with. Let's, and obviously like, it's not like you're not immune to it, obviously, but it's like,
we don't know.
You catching it again or like twice in a row or like incredibly small unless it like mutates or some shit. But,
yeah. So I've watched your trajectory from the beginning, because we started playing you right at the very beginning, and I just watched you guys go up, 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 and work harder, and tour small, medium, big, bigger, bigger. And so I've been thinking about you, because when you're a band with that much force and that much kind of momentum, and then the world's like, you need to stop. How do you go from the initial anxiety and kind of, let's call it depression, everybody was depressed at first, to picking back up and saying, all right, this is how we're going to get through it? So what was the spark that got you out and said, okay, we're going to keep going. Maybe we have to pivot, but we're going to keep going?
Well, we had an album, we had an album done. We were gearing up for that. And we were like, you know what? All right, might as well just keep rolling it out. We pushed the album back. It was actually supposed to come out this month, but we pushed it back. We were supposed to be talking about, all giving details away and stuff and announcing things. But, obviously there's more important tasks at hand at the moment. But we just decided to like keep things rolling with the album. And we were like, all right, we'll, at least we have the music to put out. Touring wise, we have no idea, because we were like gearing up for the biggest headliner and most, ambitious headliner of our career to date, doing like the Wiltern and stuff like that, which is, not a small venue. And we were super excited for it. But now we're like, like you said, we had this momentum that we were capitalizing on. And we were really excited to keep the train going. And then this like, pandemic kind of put a stop to all that. So now it's literally like, we're putting the album out, and then like everything's a guessing game as far as touring right now. No one knows anything.
How do you feel about drive-through concerts?
Yeah, we're kind of like, let's just take it one day at a time. We have no idea what the plan will be post this, do we just jump back into the tour we were going to do? Do we downsize and make it fun and intimate? It's like, we're totally just kind of like, well, I guess we'll figure it out, take it one day at a time and figure it out when the time comes. So
how do you feel about the idea of the drive-in concert? I go back and forth. I'm like, okay, if
I think it works if you're a certain kind of band. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I don't know that it would work for us, because like I think a part of a live show is like the fans like huddled up and like the energy of that,
Yeah,
together.
The energy at a Lovelytheband show is some of my favorite. If I could bottle that up, it's so carefree. Yeah,
so I don't know that the car thing would work for us, but like I'm sure it would work for other acts, but more chill acts, or maybe acts that are like skew a bit older, but I don't know.
I'm not that into it, because I have so many questions. Like, where do you go to the bathroom? Can you drink? You can't drink. You're in a car. What about like, can I go outside the car and sing to the person next to me? So I think I'll just wait. I think I'm just going to wait this one out. So much has happened in the world besides the pandemic. We have the Black Lives Matter, finally, the movement that is changing the world, not gonna change it, but our world is changing.
Literally changing, yeah.
It's changing, and we're part of history now. Does that change the way that you write songs or what you want to say? Does that
totally? I mean, yeah, it's definitely put a new perspective on life, you know, and like, you know, it's you know, I myself have learned a lot, you know, through this movement. Like, I like to think I'm a very inclusive person, and like, you know, accepting of everybody, all shapes and sizes and color, and you know, sexual preference and whatever. Like, we base our band around that, and I'm learning a lot. You know what I mean? Stuff that like I'm like, you know, I'm a person of color, but I'm a Hispanic, but like I look white. You know what I mean? I've definitely.
You're Hispanic?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So am I. People think I'm like pure on gringa, but I'm Cuban. What are you?
I'm Bolivian.
Nice. I had no idea, Mitchy. Holy shit.
My dad's white, so like,
got it.
But I've benefited, you know, from that, like looking white, and so there's so much I've learned that I've just like, you know, the blind white privilege that I'm like, oh, like I didn't even realize this, like, and that's I think been the best part for the people that are even inclusive and you know and loving and like accepting of all shapes and sizes of people. There's still a lot to learn, you know. Yeah. And I think it's great. And I think that, you know, watching the country change is incredibly inspiring. I just really hope that this is enough, this like travesty that's happened and this like injustice that's going on. And like, not that it hasn't been going on before, but that it's finally like on the forefront of people's minds. You know what I mean? That I hope it's enough for the young generation to register to vote and get out and vote this piece of garbage out
I tell people that we have to vote like our lives depend on it, because they do. At this point, like this election, and truthfully, I would probably vote if my only other option were like Daffy Duck. I'd be like, fine. I don't agree with him completely, but fine.
No, so, I mean, at this point, it's like anybody but Trump.
Anybody but him. You're in a unique position where your fans love you so much and they listen to everything you have to say. So it'll be cool to watch you encourage people when it comes time to do what we need to do. How's your dating life? That's what we were talking about that last time. You're like, it sucks. How is it now in a pandemic?
No, about the same. You know.
Look at, I swear to God, on the other side of this is solid gold.
Yeah, about the same. I got a dog, which is cool.
That's cool. That's unconditional love right there. So we're gonna play back your performance at Acoustic Christmas, which was one of my favorites. That was such a fun night, and we're celebrating 100 years of radio for HD Radio. So my final question to you is, how has radio influenced your life?
Oh man, many ways. You know, I grew up, you know, in a time before, you know, social media was predominant and streaming was a thing. So like, you know, I learned music from the radio, you know, and like my mom playing records and stuff, but like, you know, I learned a lot about discovering music from just being in the car and what's on the radio and stuff at a young age. You know, like I remember hearing Green Day for the first time on the radio. Was actually, I was probably on KROQ when it was still in New York.
Sounds about right.
And because I grew up in Jersey, and, you know, KROQ was still a thing back then in New York. And, but yeah, I mean, the radio, yeah, it shaped so much of, you know, like my understanding, my like discovering new bands. And then obviously once I was old enough, being able to like discover things on my own through my friends and stuff like that. But, you know, that was my first like introduction to music, really. Well, not first introduction to music, but like first introduction to music of like that I liked on my own.
I get you. What about hearing your songs on the radio?
And then, yeah, I was getting to that, you know, and then later in life, you know, the radio changing my life forever. And, you know, having a song that like Broken, that, you know, impacted many people, but, you know, also greatly just changed my life forever. And that's all thanks to the radio, you know, and you got like the radio really gave us a platform, and also gave us our start.
It's really good to see you, Mitchy. And I know that you've got a really long career ahead of you. So what's the next piece of Lovely the Band that we're going to get? Like, give us something to look forward to, because nowadays that's what you need. You really do need something to look forward to, just in case you're having a bad day in this otherwise glorious year.
There is a new album coming, and there will be tour dates whenever that is. And I tell you what, that first show is of that tour will probably be the best day of my life.
I'll cry. I think about it all the time. What song do you think you're going to, when you're back and you're on stage, what song, you have to consider everything that we've been through, what song do you think you'll play that'll really like kind of like get you right here, and maybe, I don't know, maybe you might cry?
Oh, I think hearing Broken, like getting the fan reaction from that for the first time.
Hearing everybody sing at once. I have goosebumps.
Like you got like, you know, because you get like complacent with that stuff. You're like, all right, I know when people are going to react. I know when it's like, okay, I know the parts in the show now. But like, we've kind of lost that now. It's like, you know, it's kind of like learning how to ride a bike again. And yeah. I think getting that energy from those parts in the show, and especially with Broken, will be pretty special.
I always say I can't wait to appreciate all the things that I took for granted. Like, I can't wait till there's a tall guy in front of me at a show that otherwise I'd be like, get the hell out of my way. Now I'm just going to be like, you want a hug? Do you want a beer? Yeah. Anything.
I can't wait to have plans that I can cancel again.
Right? Do you look forward to, like, do you do Zoom meetings and all that stuff, or do you like house party or Netflix party?
I've done like maybe like 3 Zooms, but I FaceTime a lot. I FaceTime in general, like when this wasn't happening.
Okay. Yeah. It wasn't a FaceTimer. Now all of a sudden it's like, it's a thing.
Yeah. I found myself like connecting with people that I don't normally, like on a normal basis, like connect with.
Yeah. Same. I've gotten in touch with a lot of people that I hadn't talked to, but also I'm having more profound conversations with people. Like, we're talking about the world and life, and it's, I don't know, there are good things that have happened throughout all of this. So I'm curious to see in a few years, whenever this sinks in, what you're going to write and how this is going to manifest itself in your artistry. Like, that's going to be something I really look forward to.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Same, honestly.
Well, kiss your dog, and thank you so very much. I look forward to seeing you hopefully in the flesh sooner rather than later.
Totally. I'll talk to you soon.